I'm the voice of the Flying Fleet, CJ Long, and you're watching Fleet Vision.
Top to Gabbard, open look for three, knocks it down! That's good from long range from Mikey Gabbard. Here, Willie heads up fine, and now here comes the turnover. Morgan on the fast break, should be an easy layup. Lays it in, and that's a tied game. Morgan with the basketball, across to Whitley. Whitley into the middle of the lane. Whitley all the way to the rack. Good, off the glass. Gabbard defended there by Dednam. Hits Hall off the screen. Kick to Casey Sorrell. Open for three. Got to knock it down. And he does! Oh, Whitley, ball fake. All the way to the rack. Puts it up off the glass. No good. Dixon with the board. In for two! One last shot. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Gabbard. Corey Sorrell. Open for three. Beats the buzzer!
Welcome fans to another edition of Fleet Vision. I'm here with Erskine Women's Basketball head coach Russ Gregg. Coach Gregg, your team's coming off of a rough start, 0-3 to start off the season. Y'all played some pretty tough opponents along the way. Y'all opened the season at Lincoln Memorial and played them pretty tough. Y'all struggled shooting, only averaging 52 points per game. Coach, what do you think your team's going to be able to take out of these first 3 games moving on towards conference play?
You know, CJ, I think, with all the youth we have on this team, playing a good non-conference schedule is very important for us later on down the line. Maybe we went a little too rough. Lincoln Memorial's got a very nice team, a very nice arena. Our kids were a little bug-eyed as they walked in the arena and saw that, and with a lot of freshmen, and also Carson Newman's got a fine team, and then to go play an Anderson team that beat Clemson 2 weeks ago. I thought in all 3 games there was about a 2-3 minute stretch there, normally right before halftime, that we just sort of lost our composure and sort of went in down double figures and just had a hard time recovering from that.
And with facing those tough teams early on, one thing that's going to come along with it is it's going to test your ball protection. Y'all turn the ball over a lot. Y'all are averaging 28 turnovers per game. Going forward, what do you expect from your young team in terms of development to try to correct those turnovers?
I think one thing, just game experience. I mean, we can go out here and practice and do a lot of things, and we are. We're definitely trying to correct that. But, a lot of it is learned in game situations. And, the teams we've played have done a great job of heating us up. They know we're young. They know we're prone to make mistakes like that. So, the concerning point to me is we're beating teams, we're beating their press. It's when we get it past half court that we're making the turnovers and just not being strong and physical. And, we still haven't developed that mentality and that toughness, and that takes a while. I mean, and that's something that, that we've got to get better. I've seen better signs. I've seen some good signs the last, couple practices, and even in the Anderson game. I mean, that the score's not indicative of the way the game was played. I mean, we actually held them, I think, 6 minutes without a bucket in the first half, and they went on a 9-2 run to end the first half, and we just couldn't really recover from that. But outside of the final score, I thought we did a good job hanging with them. All 3 teams we played, like I said, are well coached and do a very good job.
And so far this season, you've been led by 2 sophomores, which you expected to come in playing well. Drina Bannerman and Tara Potter, leading the team in both points and rebounding. What have you seen from them so far, and how do you expect them to lead y'all into this conference schedule starting tomorrow against Bellingham?
One thing, CJ, we've got to do a better job of getting them the ball. We've struggled getting it to them. They're both started out the season very well. Tara's averaging almost a double-double. Drina's averaging almost a double-double. So, our thing is we've got to get the ball to the people who can put it in the basket. And right now, outside of Chelsea Frazier having a great first game with 20 points and 8 rebounds against Lincoln Memorial, and Tori Wittenberg having a really good game against Anderson, going 3 of 5 from the 3. You know, we've got to do a better job at getting it inside to our post players.
And if those players you just spoke of can get hot and keep up the play, how do you see your team faring tomorrow against Belmont Abbey?
You know, Belmont Abbey is very challenging because they play a very rugged style, and you know, and we've really struggled with that. So Coach Yao does a great job. They run the triangle, which the Lakers are very famous for, and the Bulls, Phil Jackson. Then they're going to run the triangle and run it and run it and run it. And you know, we've got to be very physical and do a very good job of rebounding and limiting their second shots. And in turn, you know, we had 6 offensive rebounds against Anderson. You've got to get a lot more second chance opportunities than that. And you know, that's some things we work on. We're going to work on to correct. And you know, we're just we're waiting to put that complete game together, and hopefully it's on Saturday. You know, we're going to keep working hard. We get Janet Dixon back next week, and you know, she'll really help us from a depth perspective and giving us that tough. You know, she led this conference in rebounding last year, so getting her back will really be a help, not only rebounding wise, but defensively as well.
All right, there you have it. That's head women's basketball coach Russ Gregg. They try to put a complete game together as they go on their 4th consecutive road game tomorrow. All right, Fleet fans, we're here with head men's basketball coach Mark Peeler, coming off of an impressive 87-72 win over Anderson, 2-0 on the season. Coach Peeler, what's been so important to y'all's success thus far in the season?
Well, I mean, we come out and played really well on the road, and had 2 games where we've been able to score a lot of points, and have done just a good enough job defensively to kind of get some distance between both teams that we played. Primarily in the second half, I think our defense has been a little bit better, but still got a long way to go defensively, and still got some areas to go offensively. But it's been nice to get two road wins, and certainly the win at Anderson on Wednesday night was a great one for us.
Well, so far y'all have been shooting the ball pretty well, 89 points per game thus far in the season. It's an impressive clip. You have 5 players averaging double figures. Just talk a little bit about what the balance means for your team going forward as y'all kick off the conference schedule tomorrow against Belmont Abbey.
Well, we've made no bones about the fact that we wanted to go fast with them all year. You know, we made that from day one, the idea that we would try to play with a lot more speed and continue to keep the pressure on people. And I think they feel the freedom to be able to shoot the ball when they feel like they're open. And you know, we've taken at least 33s in both our first games, and you know, I'm hoping that continues to be the case. And while I think we can make more threes than what we've made, we certainly have had the opportunities and have taken those opportunities. So it's nice to see it so spread out. You know, Corey's done a really good job of being our leading scorer the first 2 games, and we kind of count on him for that. But at the same time, when you can get a lot of points from a lot of different people, it makes a big difference.
You talked a little bit there about keeping the pressure up, keeping the intensity high on the court. That's led to a lot of turnovers y'all been able to force for the other team. They're averaging 20 turnovers a game, your opponents. Y'all are averaging 13. So winning the turnover battle by a 7 turnover margin, that's pretty impressive thus far. Do you expect it to keep it up, and what do you think about your team's protection of the ball so far this season?
Well, I think when you look at our stats in the last few years, that's one stat that has always been a negative for us, is that we've turned the ball over more than the other, and then we've been able to force turnovers. And so far, we've done a really good job of forcing teams to be uncomfortable and turning the ball over. And 13 turnovers is too many for us, but it's not a horrible stat. We'd like to keep it under 10, and we can do a better job. We've had some really silly turnovers late in both games that we can correct. But it's important. If you don't win the turnover battle, you're not going to win those games. So I'm pleased with that part of it. As far as the tempo part, you know, one of the key plays in the Anderson game was Denzel Jones, who's a first-team All-American for them, hit a 3 late in the game. I think he cut the lead to about 14, and Mike Gabbert turned around and came right down the court and went all the way down and hit Corey for a layup and a 3-point play. And that's something that we haven't done in the past. We haven't seen that kind of turnaround where the team has hit a 3 on us and we've been able to come right back and put pressure on them. So that has a lot to do with winning the turnover battle as well, even though that's an offensive-minded kind of thing.
All right, well, let's hope the intensity stays high and the balance continues for the Flying Fleet. They go on the road to take on Belmont Abbey to open up conference tomorrow at 7:30. Their 3rd straight road game to kick off the season, and they look to stay undefeated. Thanks for joining us today on Fleet Vision.